Coming up on Mountain News this morning, President Trump is back in Washington, D.C. after spending the Thanksgiving weekend in Florida. And severe weather is slamming parts of the country as millions of Americans head home from celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller. It is 6 a.m. on this Monday, December 1st. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it is definitely starting to feel like winter, and just in time for December 1st. I feel like this year has really flown by.
I would definitely agree with that. It's been a quick year, and now that we're in one of the coldest months of the year, it's definitely feeling like it. Here's a look at what you can expect tonight as some winter weather is on the way. Winter weather advisory in place in those purple counties: Menifee, Rowan, Morgan, Elliott, Lawrence County, Kentucky, and Wayne County, West Virginia. Now, it is nice and clear this morning, a little bit of clouds, but for the most part, we will stay dry throughout all of your daytime hours. There will, however, be a chance of a wintry mix starting tonight and continuing throughout the early morning hours of your Tuesday. Now, in terms of temperatures, that also is going to make you feel like we're in the middle of winter, as the low 20s are taking over all across the region, with high temperatures for the day still below average in a mixture of the 40s, upper 30s for our far northern counties. Here's a look at what we're looking at time frame wise for the warmest temperatures of the day. That'll be around 4 p.m. Caroline.
Gosh, Megan, I'm getting chill bumps just hearing those temperatures. President Trump is back in Washington, D.C. today after spending the Thanksgiving weekend in Florida. While flying back to the nation's capital, the president confirmed that he had recently spoken with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, but he declined to provide details. News of the call comes as some lawmakers are voicing support for congressional reviews of the Trump administration's military strikes on boats suspected of transporting drugs in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean. The administration says the strikes are aimed at cartels, some of which it says are controlled by Maduro. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
Aboard Air Force One Sunday night, President Trump spoke about his recent pressure campaign on Venezuela.
Because we consider Venezuela to be not a very friendly country. They sent millions of people, really, and probably a number in excess of that. And a lot of those people shouldn't be in our country, from jails, from gangs, from drug dealers.
On social media over the weekend, the president wrote, quote, "Please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety." Since early September, the U.S. has carried out close to 24 strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific Ocean. On Sunday, Democratic and Republican lawmakers expressed support for congressional reviews of the U.S. military operations.
We definitely need the administration to finally answer the question of why strike rather than interdict. If you know where the ships are, you can interdict, and when you do, you get evidence.
And raising new legal concerns, the Washington Post reported that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a verbal order for all crew members to be killed as part of an attack on September 2nd. CBS News has not independently confirmed the Washington Post's reporting.
Obviously, if that occurred, that would be very serious, and I agree that would be an illegal act.
I don't know anything about it. He said he did not say that, and I believe him.
On Friday, Hegseth called the reporting fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory, adding that current operations in the Caribbean are lawful under both U.S. and international law. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
President Trump said the administration will look into the question of a so-called second strike on a vessel on September 2nd, adding that he would not have wanted that. The Kentucky State Police Critical Response Team was requested by KSP Post 14 in Ashland after a trooper-involved shooting. Troopers say it happened late Saturday evening in Lawrence County after they were looking for a woman with active warrants. Troopers say they received information that she was at a home in Martha, Kentucky. When they arrived to the scene, they were confronted by a man at a different residence. The man went back inside the home and returned with a gun, pointing it at the troopers. Troopers shot the man, then immediately performed life-saving aid. The man died from his injuries, and this is an ongoing investigation. The hunt is on for the possible suspects responsible for a horrific mass shooting. It happened late Saturday in Stockton, California. At least 4 people were killed, 3 of them children. 11 others were wounded. Police say there were up to 150 people inside celebrating when the shots began. 15 people were taken to the hospital. 3 children were among the 4 people killed. Authorities believe this was a targeted incident, although police released no information on the suspect or suspects. The death toll of the recent Hong Kong fires rose to 146 people on Sunday, with police estimating the search of all 7 buildings will conclude within 3 to 4 weeks. Speaking at a news conference on Sunday, a police spokesperson said they are not ruling out the possibility that the number of dead from the inferno will increase. Some bodies had been found in the stairwells and on rooftops where residents had tried to flee. More than 40 people are still considered to be missing in the fire, police said. Authorities also said the fire alarms at the complex, home to over 4,600 people, had not been working properly. Time is running out for Americans looking to cash in on clean energy tax credits. The incentives, like those for solar panels, are going away by the end of the year. And as CBS's Nicole Killian reports, some homeowners are racing to complete upgrades.
Nailing down an appointment to install solar panels on his home was a top priority for Jeff Weinshank once he learned a federal rebate would expire at the end of this year.
With the federal tax credit, we're expecting to save about $140 a month.
The residential tax credit knocks 30% off the cost of solar panel installation. But come December 31st, it's gone, along with other Biden-era clean energy subsidies that were eliminated by President Trump in the big, beautiful bill signed into law in July. Mike Kirby runs a solar panel company outside of Baltimore and has been getting lots of calls to beat the deadline.
Your phones have been ringing off the hook.
It's been crazy, like I said. It's been unlike anything I've seen in the last 16 years.
And this is all because of the expiring tax credit.
Demand this year was shaping up to be our best year before that. This kind of put it into overdrive.
But he hopes business doesn't stall when the credits go away.
Gone through 3 or 4 different cycles similar to this. You know, there's always something that's expiring or there's always something that's going away. And it always leads to 1 or 2 quarters of challenges, and the market always resumes and carries significant growth.
Without the incentive, I think it's going to have a dramatic impact on the consumer's choice.
Rob Smith oversees several car dealerships taking stock of his inventory. Several major automakers have reported EV sales declined since a $7,500 tax break for buyers expired this fall.
And now it's just a matter of, well, okay, what's the best car for me right now? Because now that car doesn't have an advantage that this other car had.
And for Jeff Weinshank, what's best for his home and his bottom line.
It's unfortunate because we're starting to see more and more people adopt this new technology, whether it's an electric vehicle or adding solar to their homes. And with the incentives in place, right, it makes it more affordable. When you take those incentives out of the equation, it just becomes probably cost prohibitive for a lot of people.
Generating new concerns for an industry built on sustainability. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
Severe weather is slamming parts of the country as millions of Americans head home from celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday. Snowstorms in the Northeast and Midwest crippled interstates and caused ripple effects on air travel nationwide. As temperatures plummeted in Chicago, the region was blanketed by snow. At the airport, they recorded more than 8 inches, and delays started piling up too. This couple from Mississippi was supposed to be on a 5 a.m. flight that was canceled.
My flight is delayed today because flying north, it's getting a little snowy up there, but hopefully it's not a super big delay.
Weather wasn't the only thing complicating air travel over the weekend. A JetBlue software update snarled the system and forced the cancellations of at least 70 flights.
Grab those coats this morning. Those temperatures are going to feel brutal. We're looking at a mixture of those 20s as you're starting off your week. However, those feels like temperatures coupled with the wind, it's going to feel like the upper teens for some folks. So keep that in mind. Very cold this morning. As we head into the afternoon, we will be warming up into a mixture of the 40s. Still chilly for this time of year. but an improvement from some of those high temperatures we saw last week. Now, in terms of what we'll see in the forecast, we're looking at a little bit of rain starting later this evening, and a wintry mixed chance will pick up as temperatures drop overnight. Some folks even have the chance of seeing some snow. Here's a look at that planning forecast for you today. High temperatures will be at 3 p.m. Starting to see the rain chances picking up around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, continuing overnight. Caroline.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, an outlet for community and herself. Meet one woman who's using TikTok to raise awareness about the reality of losing her sight.